hello all. Well, good news, finally, a lot of good news all across the board. Environment, Social Security, Medicare, Veterans Affairs, child poverty, tax cuts for the indigent and the middle class, and a good pick for VP for Harris. This couldn't be better news. And you know that I don't like politics that much. You know that. But this video is going to be about politics. So if you don't like politics, make sure you click off, and I'll talk to you next time on an environmental basis. But this video is all about politics, and it is all pretty much good news, what we can do and what we're going to do. But we know what has to be done, and we know that Trump and his ilk, the maggots, must be brought to justice. The ones that have broken the law, the ones that are trying to bring fascism to the U.S. You know, the weird thing is that a lot of interviews on the maggots, they were asked, what does fascism mean? They couldn't tell you what fascism meant. They had no idea. They did not learn what fascism was in school. They didn't study World War II or World War I and the fight against fascism, where my dad, he was in the military and he fought against fascism. And I'm sure a lot of you people also had parents that were in the military and fought fascism back in World War II. It's just a shame that we have such a divide in this country. 50-50. 50 prefer a fascist government, 50% want democracy. Well, I'm hoping democracy will win with Harris and Walz. Very good pick, and very pleased with her decisions. She's putting together a very, very good cabinet, the best we've ever seen. This is the closest to the picks I would like to see. And you know, I haven't liked politicians for years. I can't stand them. I hate, they come up, they say one thing and do another. She's actually doing what she says she's going to do. Let's see how it goes. But hopefully, somehow we'll get through this, and the Democrats will win the House, the Senate, and the presidency. And then it's time to do the work that needs to be done. Now, on another subject,
I didn't vote for Trump. The people who are most deranged and most psychotic are people who don't have kids at home.
The vice president, in terms of the election, does not have any impact.
I didn't come from the elites.
He was a nobody.
JD Vance, author of Hillbilly Elegy.
He came from nothing.
I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him.
You said idiot if you voted for him.
I didn't vote for Trump. I'm not a Trump supporter.
Might be America's Hitler.
An idiot and a moral disaster. You got to respect the American people enough to just level with them.
But wanted to stand for something.
I didn't think he was going to be a good president, Brett. He was a great president.
Himself.
Senator, this is an evolution.
All of a sudden, he decided not only isn't Trump noxious and reprehensible, he's now the greatest president of his lifetime.
JD is kissing my ass. He wants my support.
From the party with no platform.
I'm a never Trump guy.
He's the best president of my lifetime.
A man with no convictions.
Donald J. Trump guilty on all counts.
And a man with 34 convictions.
I did absolutely nothing wrong.
In a story about freedom.
So it was meant to be, at least a little bit.
Okay.
Freedom to rig elections.
Give votes to all children in this country, but let's give control over those votes to the parents of those children.
The freedom to be racist.
Now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian?
Versus Wade is an abomination. We're effectively run in this country by a bunch of childless cat ladies. The people who are most deranged and most psychotic are people who don't have kids at home. If you don't have as much of an investment in the future of this country, maybe you shouldn't get nearly the same voice.
JD Vance also thinks stepmoms aren't really moms. Women should be staying in marriages even if they're violent marriages.
These swing voters do not like him, and they do think he's weird.
No, we're not weird people. We're actually just the opposite.
From the directors of two fake charities.
We've always had a good chemistry. JP, right? JD Mandel.
It's hillbilly felony.
I love you guys.
Supreme Court. We know for a fact that Joe Biden now has complete immunity, and this is why I bring it up. new reporting on Monday that the U.S. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas failed to report even private travel gifted by a Republican maggot donor is sparking renewed calls to kick out the justices of the Supreme Court and start anew. That is what we should see from Biden. He has immunity. Kick the whole bunch of them out of there, out of the court, off the court. They're all just horrible people. They're all put in there by the maggot base. We need to clear out the scum, the maggots, get them out of the Supreme Court and put in anew. They can't do anything to Biden if he does that, because he has immunity from the gift that the Supreme Court gave him. Now use it, Biden. Kick these scumballs out of the courts. Thomas has never disclosed round-trip travel by Thomas and his wife. He's never reported that, and that's the law, that they're supposed to report that. Because, see, if people are giving them free this and free that, that's basically buying off a judge, right? How much money has Trump given the Supreme Court? Well, probably never know, but you know it's a lot. Furthermore, it was revealed just a few weeks ago that Justice Thomas enjoyed complimentary use of private jets paid for by Mr. Crown, another maggot donor, on 17 different occasions since 2016. An advocacy group called Fix the Courts published a database listing 546 total gifts from different donors to these justices. These gifts were valued at $4.7 million. Thomas led the pack with 193 FTC identified gifts. Enough is enough is enough. We've had enough. We need to get Harris and Walz into the presidency. We need to put Democrats in the House and the Senate. And you know, I say that. It's very difficult to say that because I have always been so against politicians. But this time, I really feel good about it. I hope they don't let me down and let you down. But let's do what needs to be done and get these people in office so we can get the right-wing maggots out of office before they do destroy the only real democracy around the world. Part of it is the U.S., the UK, and a few other democracies, and they're very fragile, they're very easy to overturn, and they usually end up turning fascism. At least the history has taught us that. If these maggots had ever learned anything, it is that fascism is the worst way you can go, and that Donald Trump and his ilk are the worst of the worst. I appreciate any thoughts you have, and from here on, I will try and give a little bit of politics in each video. No guarantee, because I don't want to turn everybody off. But man, if there's a reason to feel good, it's today. The day they picked Walz to be the VP. They are going to kick some booty with this team. And the Democrats are energized. The left is energized. The progressives are now energized. When have we ever seen that? Hasn't been since the Kennedy days. All right, people, let's do it. So until next time.